Deputy Healy, thank you.
Thank you, Ciarán Corla. At the outset, I'd like again to welcome the postmasters, postmistresses, staff and families who are in the public gallery tonight, and to thank those who also attended here last night. And to say a thank you as well to the very large numbers that attended the protest outside Leinster House this evening. But Minister, I have to say to you that your amendment, your contribution here last night, and indeed the Minister of State's contribution here this evening, they were deeply disappointing, disingenuous even. And your amendment, Minister, does not contain a single firm commitment or a single timeline for any action to protect the post office network. You merely postpone action further by commencing a new review while the post office network is being undermined by your government. There is in your contribution last night the cheap headline-grabbing statement that the government has no plan to close post offices. Denying allegations that have not been made, Minister, is an old, cynical media manipulation trick. The real problem, Minister, the real problem is that you and your government have no plans to keep the post office network open. And the effect of your amendment and your statements last night and again tonight is a clear breach of your government's commitment in the programme for government to protect post offices and the post office network. The effect of the amendment is that the actions and indeed the inactions of your government will lead to the closure of hundreds of post offices over the short to medium term due to lack of business. The Grant Thornton report shows that the Department of Social Protection business, if that were lost, or while the current contract continues, should a substantial portion of it be diverted elsewhere through electronic payments, there will be large-scale closures and job losses. Urgent action, Minister, and not words, is needed to avoid this development. That is the problem which this private member's motion seeks to address. And your amendment, Minister, fails to address the problem, and it should be defeated here tonight or withdrawn. Labour Party TDs and Fine Gael deputies who vote down our motion and vote in favour of the government amendment will be held responsible for closures of post offices into the future. The Minister, in his contribution last night, seeks to give false comfort in relation to the crucial contract with the Department of Social Protection. But the General Secretary of the Irish Postmasters Union has said in a statement that immediate government action is required to ensure the viability of the post office network into the future. And he expressed the concern that although An Post had won the welfare payments contract, the Department of Social Protection were actively driving customers into using bank accounts to receive welfare payments. He says we may have won the contract in theory, but the business is being diverted away on a daily basis. We cannot survive if this continues. Minister, there are a number of urgent, concrete actions which you and your government must take to protect the post office network and to honour the commitment which your government made in the programme for government. And the first and most important one is we need an action plan. We need your government to immediately provide a framework of planning and consultation between An Post, the Postmasters Union, trade unions in An Post and your department to draw up a strategic plan to implement the commitment in the programme for government to maintain the post office network. Absolutely vital and must be done. Minister, you must also stop the diversion of business away from the post offices while that planning is taking place. And you must instruct An Post to cease the rollout of the installation of machines in Tesco under the guise of a pilot scheme. And your government must stop the Department of Social Protection instructing new job seekers to open bank accounts into which payments will be made, as has happened recently in Cork. Your government must grant on post a full banking licence, which can be used by postmasters to avail of government business. These, Minister, are the commitments we should have got from you last night and again tonight. Instead, we got waffle, plawmoss and long fingering, while the post office network is being undermined by yourself and your government colleagues on a daily basis. I call on all deputies to support this very clear, very precise and non-contentious motion and to vote against the government amendment which permits the continued undermining of the post office network. And I commend the motion to the House.